But look at this number for Donald Trump, 22%. Where was Donald Trump at this point 4 years ago in the polls? He was just at 9% of the vote. So he's seen more than a doubling in his support among African Americans. This margin, which was in the 70s just 4 years ago, look at where it is now, 69 minus 22. That puts it in the 40s. My goodness gracious. If this held through the general election, obviously we're still months away, this would be by far the best performance for a Republican candidate among black voters in a generation, 2 generations, probably since 1960 and Richard Nixon against John F. Kennedy. That's how long we're really talking about when we're looking at this margin here. This could be a truly historic margin. It's quite a troubling sign for the Biden campaign, Sarah.
Yes, it's early, and we're looking at polling here, but one, I can tell you that these numbers have the attention of some of Mr. Biden's closest political advisors, some of President Biden's closest political advisors. They are worried about this frustration thus far because this very much is the base of the party, and in a way, sort of scrambling for different policy achievements now that you can show. That can energize not just voters in the black community, which is obviously not a monolith, but specifically young black voters as well. So that falls as the marijuana announcement definitely is an example of that. Look, that's essentially a proposed rule. It's not going to take effect for a while. It's like a long, arduous process. The fact that the president put out a video with it yesterday, a week after the Justice Department sort of recommendation to the White House, even shows just the urgency to really find something to energize these voters.
And maybe concerned that they didn't really get it and they didn't hear it.
100%, absolutely.
We got to talk about Joe Biden today because, as you guys just saw, Joe Biden's been having some major issues with people of color, black people and Hispanics in this country, among others, right? But we have to talk about people of color today because Joe Biden recently took a trip to Morehouse, and we all know why he took that trip to Morehouse. And you saw a couple of those things there at the beginning, and that is his poll numbers amongst black people. Now, well, you know, I'm not gonna spoil that. I'm gonna save that until we get to it. I was gonna spoil something later on in the video, but yeah, so that's what we're going to be talking about today. Like, share, comment, and hit that subscribe button if you are new. And let's dive in.
This morning, President Biden is trying to shore up support with a key constituency, arguing he's breaking down doors for black Americans.
There's 3 million more people, African Americans, who have health insurance now because we...
Biden swinging through Michigan and Georgia, 2 states he narrowly won in 2020 and will need again in November. In Atlanta, Biden giving the commencement address at historic Morehouse College.
We know black men are going to help us lead us to the future. Black men from this class in this university.
The president touting his record, but facing silent protests over his handling of the Israel-Hamas war. A handful of students turning their chairs around, their backs to the president. One faculty member standing with her fist raised.
Not everybody is buying the BS from Joe Biden, and he is out there pandering hard. He was out at Morehouse pandering hard. Listen to part of his speech. Check it out.
Started college just as George Floyd was murdered, and there was a reckoning on race. It's natural to wonder if democracy you hear about actually works for you. What is democracy? If black men are being killed in the street, what is democracy? Betrayal of broken promises still leave black communities behind. What is democracy? You have to be 10 times better than anyone else to get a fair shot. And most of all, what does it mean, as we've heard before, to be a black man who loves his country, even if it doesn't love him back in equal measure? When I sit behind the Resolute desk in the Oval Office, in front of the fireplace across from my desk, I have 2 busts, one of Dr. King, one of Bobby Kennedy. I often find myself looking at those busts, making decisions. Ask myself, are we living up to what we say we are as a nation? to end racism and poverty, to deliver jobs and justice, to restore our leadership in the world. You start
pandering hard, as you just saw there. I know that it's just absolutely ridiculous. He talked about bringing people out of poverty. He's actually taking more people into it. He's also creating more division, more a divide in this country. So, I mean, according to his own standards, he's absolutely failing. So, here's more.
I got more Morehouse men in the White House telling me what to do than I know what to do. You all think I'm kidding, don't you? You know I'm not. And it's the best thing that's happened to me.
It's the best thing that's happened to me. Remember, this is the same guy, right? The same guy that's on that stage pandering to black people and saying, oh my goodness, whoa, you know, I feel so bad, blah, blah, blah. You guys are all victims and this and that. That same guy is this guy.
And you ain't black. Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids.
I mean, you got the first sort of mainstream African American who was articulate and bright and clean and nice-looking guy.
Biden recalling his early Senate career, bringing up two segregationist senators, Herman Talmadge and James Eastland, who called African Americans an inferior race. I was in a caucus with James O. Eastland, Biden said. He never called me boy. He always called me son. At least there was some civility. We got things done.
The senators that he is speaking of with such adoration are individuals who made and built their reputation on segregation. The Ku Klux Klan celebrated the election of one of them.
Using the word boy in the way he did can cause hurt and pain, and we need a presidential nominee and the leader of our party to be sensitive to that.
My Democratic colleagues don't like me saying this. I think the two-party system is good for the South and good for the Negro, good for the black. Other than the fact that they still call me boy, I think they've changed their mind a little bit.
As also noted, Robert C. Byrd was a parliamentary library, a keeper of the institution of the Senate.
All right, that's enough of that. You guys get, that's the same guy that is trying to make people believe that he's all of a sudden this pro-black. But as I showed you guys a little tidbit before, not everyone's buying the BS. Thankfully, people have caught on to the shenanigans. Every 4 years, the Democrat Party comes out and tries to pander to black people and people of color to try to get them or us to show up for him or them. You know, every 4 years. It's the same song and dance. The same exact song and dance every 4 years. Oh, black people, show up for me. We've done this. We need to do this. And, oh, Republicans bad. Republicans are terrible. Republicans are racist and this and that. Please, guys, show up for us. It's the same song and dance that, you know, we always hear Democrats try to say to us black folks. And not everyone's buying it this time around. It's beautiful to see.
It's not something that I feel like I would honestly even partake in that commencement. I don't see myself being there.
And Ebokian sees Biden's visit as a campaign stop and a political tool in an election year.
At the end of the day, this is kind of like something that's on his political agenda to kind of maybe get more young black voters or something.
Bingo. Bingo. It is just another ploy to get more young black voters. But as you guys saw there at the beginning, some folks were also turning their backs on Biden while he was giving his speech. You know, others, when he was introduced, didn't stand up. As a matter of fact, almost all of the graduates, none of them stood up when Joe Biden was introduced. Check it out. You could see them right there. You could see them right there in the middle.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, President Thomas.
All of those folks sitting down. Beautiful to see. Beautiful to see. People not buying the BS. and the pandering, the lies every 4 years. They do the same thing every 4 years, and people have caught on to it.
I feel like it's just a way to kind of get the black vote and the young vote and to help his election, because I believe he knows that less and less people are in support of him, especially with his handling of Israel and Palestine and his banning of TikTok and the aid that he is sending to countries and just the kind of economic state of the United States right now.
Some students have strongly criticized Biden's invitation, given his administration's support for Israel.
I'm not a fan of his coming here for multiple reasons. It looks very good on paper that President Biden is coming to speak at Morehouse College. It's considered very prestigious, whatever, but I think a lot of the seniors are suffering because of it. But I think, of course, ideologically, I think his being here, especially the possible conferment of an honorary degree, is very inconsistent with the values of this institution.
Yeah, so as you heard there, they gave him like a honorary degree, which was just absolutely shameful in my humble opinion, right? Shameful in my humble opinion. But like I said, not everyone is buying the BS, and it's fantastic to see, because rightfully so. They do the same thing every 4 years, come out and pander, and now they see the poll numbers. They see all the polls that I just showed you at the beginning, and you heard there at the beginning as well that the Biden administration sees all of this. They have a lot of people on the ground, right? They see what's going on. They see that their support is continuing to decline, and so now it's full court press on the pandering now. But people aren't buying it, and it's beautiful to see. But I just wanted to talk about that really quickly. Y'all let me know what you thought about it in the comment section below. Like, share, comment, hit that subscribe button before you go. Peace and love. I'm out.